Oh, hi there. It's Wednesday, and I'm not in the mood so much for 10-minute games today, so I'm just going to play it slow, chat. I feel like chatting, feel like talking about things. This week's episode of the podcast came out. Excited about that. I hope people really give it a listen and enjoy it, because I had fun making it, and I think it was a really nice interview, and person who was interviewed, I think, did really well and had some interesting things to say. So I think it'll be useful to people. I hope it'll be useful to people, and I'll be curious to see the response, if any. It's always, in the Western shogi world, you never know if there will be a response. It's been shockingly quiet on the Shogi Harbor Discord for the past week or so, like extremely quiet. Yesterday it picked up again a little bit, but very quiet. And I don't know what that is, if that's just end of summer stuff, or if people are just not feeling like chatting about Shogi for some reason these days. But, it is what it is. And so what I am in here, I have a position. It is the Ureshino-ryu countermeasure, or the Gangi 5th rank rook countermeasure, as popularized in the West by Ishikawa Sensei and Melkor. And I am going to play from this position against some bots. So let's see. I want to just play, get a feel for it. We're at the position here. So I'm going to continue from here as broken, as we saw last time. So I'm going to copy this position, and then I'm going to continue from here and then paste that in, play with the computer. I will set it to Yanora 02. Oh, it looks like it didn't break it. It's working, so maybe they fixed that. Or maybe that was just a bug yesterday with that particular study. Anyway. So we're here. If they did fix it, well done. There was an issue that was filed by a viewer, I believe Tor2p yesterday. So we're real time this. I'm going to play as Sente. And do we have sound? We should have sound. Okay. So here we are. And the opponent has gone into 5th rank rook. They're partially basically into Gangi, and Ureshino-ryu has brought this out. So the last two moves were silver comes out to 6-6, and then silver 4-3, sort of making that Gangi structure. So I have some options here. I think this is an option. This is an option. This is an option. So let me use a different color here. So that's not a different color. This is an option. The king is an option, which will be followed by this, because we're basically getting into the slow game. If I move the bishop and this comes out, then I've got some options of going back here, coming back here, and then I think slightly worse coming back here. I've studied these, so I sort of know the evals on it. Evals at very high depth. Even game. It's obviously, as an Ureshino-ryu player, I want to be making a quick attack, so the slow game doesn't really make me feel great, but the engine doesn't care. It's actually, I think, it's like 0.0, maybe even like 0.1 for Sente here. So anyway, I'm going to do this. Are we not getting sound? Did we hear sound? Okay, we must have. Maybe I was just talking. Sometimes when I'm talking, I don't hear the actual screen noise because my voice is either going over it or is just sort of resonating with it. This is interesting. This is not not the where Ishikawa Sensei would go. Good day, Emperor X. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good one. Ah, and Todovsky is raiding with a party of 4. Greetings. Greetings, greetings. Thank you for that. Let me do this. Thank you again. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. I am playing through so I'm starting from a position against a bot. I'm not quite feeling 10-minute games today. I don't have a lot of time. Today is the last day that my son is in town before going to school. So, we're gonna wash the car, we're gonna go out for dinner and do some stuff in between. So I'm not going to have a terribly long stream, I don't suspect. But I thought I would play slowly through, try to work through some of my issues with the Ishikawa/Melkor Ureshino-ryu countermeasure, which is Gangi 5th rank rook. And this is the starting position for it. This is what I'm calling the starting position for it, where this is pretty much how I'll play it all the time, pretty much. And this is pretty much how the opponent will play it every time. And now we're getting into where I have some different choices. I think even this might even actually, despite what Ishikawa Sensei says, I think this is actually fine as well. Fine according to the engine. But so I'm going to play these, try to get comfortable with it, try to work out how I deal with these slow games. How many people do actually play this against you? So this is, it's a good question. And I kind of, every time I say this, I've said this like a couple times in person, and I sort of get a laugh at it. But the only people who play this against me are Westerners. So very few. Like online, I almost never see this. Hey, Shogi-pan. 1 viewer, 2 chatters. What is that? What does that mean? Are we getting some weird numbers on yeah, the numbers are always weird on Twitch and YouTube. Good to see you. But yeah, I jokingly say only Westerners play this. Yeah, I've been on YouTube. I started multi-streaming a bunch of months ago, and it's really worked out. There are many streams where YouTube has a bigger count than Twitch, and there are some vice versa. But these days, YouTube, despite the fact that it's lower right now, YouTube often gets to be the higher numbers. And I think a lot of that is some Japanese viewers would prefer to watch on YouTube. And some, hey, Transport, great to see you. And so it's Shogi streaming on YouTube is gets a lot of Japanese viewers. And so yeah. So it's a good mix. It's a good mix. And YouTube, streaming directly to YouTube makes it easier for me to get the video going and... Fablegraph. That's, yeah, in a nutshell. Yeah, YouTube is easier to watch ad-free. Twitch is lower lag. Yeah, slightly lower lag. But yeah, greetings. Welcome to the channel. Hope you enjoy Shogi. You think it's because the Shogi Wars BGM was off? Oh, Frogman got raided by 22, but they all vanished. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. Yeah, you got to have that BGM on. What type was the channel? Was it a chess channel? Marcus USA over on YouTube. Greetings. Welcome to the channel. You say first Shogi stream in English you have seen on YouTube. Ah, wow. What is that? Is that Tsubara Shini Desune Oh gosh, my Japanese reading is terrible. Oh, Mahjong Soul. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Yeah, Marcus, I've been streaming on YouTube. I pretty much stream every single day of the week, and so on YouTube, you could go back in time. Like today is what 468. Today is no 469. Nice. Today is the 469th stream. They're all available on YouTube, and also got some small videos and YouTube shorts of like how to set some of the major shogi clocks, and a shogi podcast, which started up a month and a half ish ago, and and the new episode just came out last night or early this morning, depending on wherever you are. It came out within the past 12 hours. It's an interview. It's not an interview podcast necessarily, but the past two have been interviews, and I expect the next few episodes will be interviews, but we'll see. Really fun. I'm having a great time with it. Ivan Viennin, good to see you again. It is not on Spotify, so that's one thing. That's one thing I looked into, is seeing how I host sort of just like an RSS feed, so that I could submit it to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And those sites all have some pretty bad limitations. And in the end, it seems like it would be about $20 a month for me to host a podcast somewhere, outside of YouTube. And, the stream is not bringing in much money. The stream is not bringing in much money. And I don't know how well this podcast is going to be received, or how it will continue to be received. So for me, that's a bit of a I don't know if I'm willing to swallow that pill of essentially $250 a year for just to host the podcast. So long, it's a long and cheap way of saying no. It is currently only on YouTube, and there's no immediate plans to change that. I did see there was a great podcast. The C Squared podcast is a chess podcast with two chess professionals, including one of the better players in the world, Fabiano Caruana, who is always good for some terrible takes if he's talking about literally anything outside of chess. But they interviewed Danny Wrench from chess.com, and a great 2+ hour interview. Honestly, a great interview. As far as I listened to a lot of interview podcasts. It was very compelling to me. And one of the things that Danny had said, sort of in passing, he brought up how much money he burned on some of his early chess site ideas. And he burned, not just thousands, tens of thousands of dollars on some of these sites, like this one teaching site that he was running or started while working at, while going over to chess.com. Ninworld, I just saw that the message was retracted. Shoot. I hope I was going to read that. I was kicking myself for going on this tangent while you've got like important stuff to say. So I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So hopefully that was just a typo and you bring it back, because I definitely want to talk about the engine. I saw Yanro and that whole discussion of the who plays this. I get sidetracked so much. I'm so sorry. A way to follow it on YouTube too. Yeah. So YouTube, YouTube Premium, when you're able to use YouTube Music, maybe you could use YouTube Music as a free user also. I'm not sure, but like their podcasts, it makes it easy to listen to. Like I listen to C Squared podcast in the YouTube Music app, if only because the C Squared channel has not been very good at updating their like RSS feed. So like their videos come first on YouTube, and sometimes don't come for weeks, it seems like. Although lately they've been a little better. But it was part of Danny's book tour. And show you about you mean I'm not a Rick famous or what is a Rick famous shogi streamer yet? Yeah, I am not famous. I am not famous. You know, my numbers are growing, and I do it every day. I'm consistent, and I love doing it. But those numbers, I think the numbers may just not be. Oh, rich and famous. Yeah, they are not. I just don't know if the numbers are there in the shogi world. I'm not. I just don't think so. I hope they are. You know, not that I'm looking to be rich and famous. Like I would love to be able to cover my costs of doing this. I would love to know that some people are out there, you know, really enjoying it enough to support it. But you know, it's possible those numbers are just not there in the West. So, but we'll see. So Ninworld, you say you did some experiment with Shogi Gui and let Yano-O plays against himself in a 10-second Byoyomi against Ureshino countermeasure. Oh, it showed an interesting gambit, and the Ureshino side won both games. Oh, I would love to see that. Yeah. So was the gambit the pawn? So I'm curious. Is it what kind of gambit? Is it a pawn gambit or is it a knight gambit? Because I think I unwittingly. Okay, pawn 3-5. Yeah, I was running some very high depth, so not just 10-second. You know, I was running some very high depth Yano-O, talking like 50, you know, 45 to 50, which on my machines, you know, running with many cores takes a long time. But just because I was curious because as the depth increased, this move was not going down, and this is a move that Ishikawa Sensei. So let's go. So essentially, it was. Let me get back into my study here. Because I've got this in a study. So here, you know, Ishikawa talks about the problem with this. Sort of briefly, the problem with this, and it's, you know, practically and human wise, I certainly see it, but the engine was consistently liking this, and I thought, you know what, I need to study this later because I think. You know, now I'm giving away some of my ammo, and you're giving away some of my ammo as well. I was thinking, well, I am going to. This feels like a move I would bust out in a tournament. So, like, if someone tries to do this against me in a tournament, I'm thinking I'm going to bust this move out because the engine was liking it more than the others. And you know, not like dramatically or anything, but my thinking is you know. Trying to swindle somebody that an opponent might just not expect it. They might not expect it. They might not know some of the actual ideas behind some of the capitalizing on this, you know, gambit, and I might be able to get a good attacking position. So that's how I look at these things with an engine. But I haven't gone much more in depth than this, other than to know, okay, I need to study this for a tournament, because like I said. I don't play this. I don't get this countermeasure often. I give it. There are two players who I play with at the club who play this, and they've both, you know, they both beat me with it. You know, one of them is a 5+ Dan player, so he's going to beat me with anything he does. But he crushes me with this, and I lost pretty convincingly to. Well, I'll say the person I just interviewed, and the person who the episode 6, the third interview, which was just released this morning, a week ago, we played a couple of games, and in the game where he did this 5th rank rook Gangi versus my Ureshino-ryu, he won pretty convincingly, and in a way that I blundered my silver. I usually blunder my silver on the left side. In this game, I blundered it on the right side. I made some counterplay, and it turned out to be a fun game. But it was, I'd say, it was a pretty convincing win for him. So those are two players I play over the board. The 5 down is leaving the area, so I won't have as many opportunities to play him, unfortunately. And then 81 Dojo, I think I've gotten it 2 or 3 times against, again, Europeans who would play this. And I think I've said this on stream, but my theory on this is that in the West, especially as a non-Japanese speaker, you have so few educational options that there is a good chance that if you're an advanced player or if you're a student of the game, you will have come across this limited set of educational opportunities. And one of those major opportunities that we have is this Ishikawa, pay, even though you have to pay for it, his series on all these different openings. And one of those is an Ureshino-ryu countermeasure. And so it's like, if you're Western and you want educational materials, where are you going to get it? Well, there's Ishikawa Sensei, and that's about it. So the odds of a Westerner who is a student of the game knowing this countermeasure go through the roof versus Japanese players who seemingly don't know it or don't care enough about it because they don't see it enough. The 5 down that's leaving is his username is ZKid. He's on Foradune, the viewer of the channel, and good to see you, Zion Cannon. Good to see you. It is not Koshiro. It is not Koshiro. It's ZKid, who is also a chess grandmaster. ZKid plays WSL on Foradune's team. And I see a message here. Okay, I saw your message with that study. Thank you. I'll study that. It's funny that you do that 10-second Byoyomi test. Yeah, I let various versions of Yanra O or Suisho 5 play each other occasionally. I used to do it more often than I do now. But I think it's cool to see different ideas. Yeah. Anyway, so in this position, I brought the silver out. This is how I typically play this. And then the opponent made the gangi. I brought the bishop. The opponent did push. Okay, so as I said, there are 3 equal moves here. Again, at high depth. And sorry for just blabbing engine stuff out, but there are 3 equal moves, the green, and there is one just barely worse move, which is the red, which is bringing the bishop back all the way. So I'm going to do this. This is I think consistent with how I play Ureshino-ryu and the fact that I don't want to play a slow game. And I think I sort of like this as well. I like this over the board because I think it immediately will put the opponent on the back foot. It will also give me plenty of opportunities to mess up here. Oh, this is the study. This isn't what the opponent did. Shoot. Okay, the engine didn't do that. The engine pushed this. All right, I'll get my king over. I think there's no rush. Okay, so now I will do this. That's Sumero. It's Sumero. You know, this bishop drop is massive. So I'm tempted to come up. Because then if he drops the pawn, I drop the bishop. I like this because it gives me a silver. Wow. It's Sumero again. Ah. Ah. Oh, okay, so how do I think about that better? How do I think about that? How do I visualize that better in the future? So had I taken, he would have come over anyway. So what if I drop a pawn? Rook takes. Drop a silver. What if I drop the silver here? He can just come up. Mini shogi. So I do this, he comes over. Sumero. Okay. Wait, what am I missing? What am I missing? I'm not missing anything. Okay. All right. All right. So we defeated Yanra O level 2. Was rook takes 2-6 an idea? It was, I think it, so it was for me. Maybe I should have done that first. So maybe I should have done that first. So if I, wait, let's go to the analysis board. Let's go to the analysis board. If I take this first, then he drops the pawn. Then do I do this? So my thinking was, I get this threat, and if he drops a silver, I take the silver, so I get a silver in addition to whatever I'm going to win here. And if he takes, I can come back and then get this space. But I didn't see this. Oh, when he played Rook 4-5. Rook 4-5. Oh. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. Because if we take, he cannot, he cannot leave this rank. He cannot leave this rank. Yeah. Oh, I like that. I'm gonna flip the engine. Let's see here. So it's plus 18 and a half. It likes just four. It likes this. It likes 4-3 silver. It likes 4-3 gold. So this is 20.4. This is plus 15.8. This is. Oh, the gold here is 15.8. The gold there is 15.4. Taking the silver, taking the token is plus 15. Dropping the pawn here, interestingly, is plus 14. So what's the problem with this? It's still good. It's only plus 10. Why is that? Because it gives him time. There's no threat. Well, there is a threat. There is a threat, right? We take, he takes. This is rough though. So if the number one move is taking here, wow. That's interesting. So I'm going to play the game of guess where the opponent went wrong. I'm going to guess it's this. This probably also increased the damage. Okay, not terrible. Not terrible. Still basically even. This is bad. This is more bad. And this bishop, this was the number one move. This was the number one move. By a lot. By a lot. Plus 12 versus plus 5.5. I think practically it's easier to understand too. All right. Good game to Yloigh. Let's do it again. Where is that strategy? Let's do it again. This time versus Yloigh level 3. Continue from here. Play with the computer. From position. I am Sente level 3. Yloigh level 3. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing. It's interesting that the level 3 does the same as level 2. Wow. Okay. So the levels so far are he drops his pawn. Okay. Shiro no Koge. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Vexel Cafe, great to see you. Let's shout that out. Hope you had a good stream today. Exo Sensei, welcome, welcome, welcome. Are you a sensei in Go? A special delivery has arrived from the tatami room. Tea and gifts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's good because I would show here I'm very empty on my tea. I'm very empty on my tea. What tea did you drink today? What tea did you drink? So it's funny to me that you and Vexel Cafe are coming in together. You know, Vexel, of course, being the barista of Twitch, and you are with the tea. There's place for both of us in this world. In this world of Shogi and Go, there's room for coffee drinkers, tea drinkers, water drinkers. Tencha Karigane. It was a gift with your purchase at Hibiki-an. Okay, so I don't... Root beer drinkers, yes. Exo Sensei, thank you for that follow. Thank you. Let's check. What is Hibiki-an? Hibiki-an. Japanese green tea. It's a site of Japanese green tea. Ah, okay. Let me switch my layout here. So as I've said before, I'm stunned. I am stunned. Barista of Twitch sounds too exalted of a title. No, that's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong. To me, you are the barista of Twitch. At least the barista of Go Twitch. Go Weichi. So slight tangent. The trouble of the name of Go, I read too much, and not read too much. I think too much about these sorts of things, but the name of Go is one of the things that honestly bothers me about the game, because it's an unsearchable topic almost by itself. The SEO is bad. It's a confusing name. So yeah, I do Go game or things like that. But I usually will search these days for Baduk. But even Baduk is because I'm mispronouncing it. So it's like even Baduk is a bad name because it's pronounced Paduk, like Paduk. Or I'm not even going to try to pronounce Korean words. But like even the name that's better than Go, or is more recognizable than Go, 90% or 99% of the population of English speakers is going to mispronounce this word. So it's like Go is not a good word, Paduk is not a good word, Weichi is maybe even the best. I'm not sure, but anyway, the thing was, so I was on a Bing site today. I was on a Bing site, and it was like listing things to check out. And it said, like, discover Weichi Go. And I'm like, wow, Okay, even the AI knows that it shouldn't call go. Yeah, well, that's the thing. So I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. I assume I'm doing the intonation wrong for wei chi. I assume I'm doing intonation wrong because I have never heard anyone besides myself that I can recall, except for maybe the Starpoint Go podcast. And I don't even remember what he says, but I've never heard anyone, I think, besides him pronounce wei chi. So I assume there's intonation. As someone who has studied Mandarin in the past and was able at least to have some tiny conversations in the past, like, and in the past, I mean, like 15, 20 years ago, like, I expect that there is something there that there's an intonation I'm missing. Similar to, Shang-Chi is also, these are hard words for people like me to say, no matter how much I study. But anyway, how did I get on this topic? It was a sidebar. It was a sidebar. It was a sidebar. We're talking about tea. It was this because shogi players and go players and tea drinkers and coffee drinkers and root beer drinkers, we're all we're all having fun. We're all drinking our beverages. We're all having fun. I think the root beer people are having a little more fun than everyone else. All right. Favorite root beer. Let's see if I can do a Twitch poll. No, I didn't monetize Twitch. So I can't do a poll. Poll. What is? I have the bot. Poll help. Poll new. Best brand of root beer. I'm going to put my favorite first, not to influence anything. I'm going to put Barks. A&W. I'm going to say Dads. Just, if only for Shogi Dads. Does Verner's make a... oh gosh. What's the Australian company? Sounds like the mic is leaning on the keyboard. Yeah, the mic is down here, so sorry about that. Bundaberg. What else do we have? A&W, Barks, Dads, Bundabeer. Great ginger beer. Great ginger beer. So this is all I know. Sprecher? Okay, I'll put Sprecher in there, but I don't know what that is. There's also, I want to say... I think there's a Bruce Cost. I think that's a New York-based sort of expensive. I know they have ginger beer, so I'm going to say that. So let's get into this straw poll. I'm going to cover my screen so you can't see. Hey, William. Jones. Yes. Shoot. So Jones, shoot. If you don't drink root beer, you should start drinking root beer. So Barks, let me read some of the chat. Let me read some of the chat before I get into here. Let me read some of this chat. The root beer spreadsheet. Oh, you do have a root beer spreadsheet. Wait, you're not joking. Holy moly. Berghoff is good when I lived in Chicago. There's a restaurant, at least there used to be, the Berghoff. And I've had their draft style root beer. Oh, that's good. This is a great list. This is honestly a great list. A great spreadsheet. We'll have to look at that. So anyway, so we got there. All right, so we got this. We got this. Yeah, I can't believe this turned into a root beer discussion stream. But it's funny because there's also let's go back to the poll. Let's go back to the poll. It's funny to me because there's a retro video game YouTuber who I've been listening to recently called Tech Dweeb, who is Canadian, or at least his persona is Canadian. I can't tell if you never know about some of these personas, like the people that don't show their, like, he doesn't show his face, he just shows his, like, one of his shticks is that he just shows his hands, and he uses voice synthesizer to sound like he's kind of like a congested nerd, if you know what I mean. Like that sort of stereotypical congested nerd that sort of I can't quite put into words nasally. But yeah, Vexel does. Yeah, Vexel doesn't even show hands. I saw that. Yeah, the gloves when playing, which would make it hard for Go. So anyway, so Vexel Cafe, not Vexel Cafe. Tech Dweeb talks about root beer. So it's Canadian. Pinch the nose and talk. Tech Dweeb. It doesn't. I guess a little bit. Yeah. But he mentioned root beer. So root beer has been on my mind. And here at home, I know my son likes it, and we occasionally make root beer floats. But Barks is special to me because at Apple now, when I joined Apple, it was in late 2011, and I went in large part to work for Scott Forstall. So Scott Forstall was the in many people's minds the heir apparent to Steve Jobs. And without getting too long into that, basically Tim Cook whacked him very soon after Steve died and Tim took power. So like in my narrative, very mob-like, Tim Cook whacked Forstall because anytime Apple would have had trouble, like if Apple wouldn't have met some earnings or something like that, people would have been clamoring for Forstall. So I'm guessing that's why he did it. People inside Apple don't necessarily, who knows what was in his mind. But anyway, in large part, I was a big Scott Forstall fan, a huge Steve Jobs fan. And anyway, Infinite Loop 2 is the building. There's Infinite Loop, and Infinite Loop there's IL1, IL2, IL3, I can count all the way up to 6. And 2 is where the iPhone software was made, the iOS stuff. So I had joined as part of iOS. I was working on maps, and so we had access to the Infinite Loop 2, which is everything in Apple is sort of locked down, but we had access to Infinite Loop 2 where you can get new devices. Like if you need a device, you need whatever you need. Whatever you need, you get it from this place called Home Depot. The room was called Home Depot, and it was in IL2, Infinite Loop 2. And there they had a bunch of, Apple is not like one of those Bay Area companies that give free lunch and free dinners and free this and free that. Like they sort of treat you like children in college, like Google and LinkedIn and Meta, like they famously treat their employees, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm not judging, but like as far as I'm concerned, they treat them like children. And a lot of that is trying to create that college mindset, both of sort of experimentation, I think, but also in terms of getting people to live there doing work, like so that the more people are on campus, the more they're working. At least back in the day when people used to work, shots fired at modern software, but like back when people were hired at these companies and they were great and they worked very hard, it made sense to try to keep them there and sent them to stay longer so there's food. But anyway, Apple wasn't like that. Apple was never like that. But there were snacks and drinks and things like that. And one of the things in this IL2 refrigerator was Barks. So it was, I got an extra special feeling of Barks. And every so often, like when I'd share some messages with people that I work with, I'd just send a photo of the Barks can. So like they know I'm at Infinite Loop 2. And in a way, I was subtly showing off that I had access to Infinite Loop 2. So, because some of the people that I worked with later had never technically been on iOS because the Maps team changed owners. When Forstall was whacked, the Maps team changed hands, and we went into the services organization under Eddie Q. So we left iOS and Forstall and Richard Williamson, who was the director under Scott Forstall, the person who basically made Safari, one of the couple people who created Safari. So great times. Root beer candies are the best. Wait. So we actually have some, I think, in the house from Trader Joe's. My son got some root beer candies, and they're really good. Yeah, actually, Apple was an amazing place to work for. It wasn't just fun, and it wasn't just in some ways. It was in almost every way. It used to be an amazing place, and I think it still can be good in pockets. It's like anything that gets so lucrative and so large. Things are going entropy, or things will tend towards making things worse. I think that apologies for using this term in a family friendly stream. The term that I've seen over the past few years, I think, of people talking about this type of phenomenon is enshittification, where just everything just tends towards becoming worse. And I think, despite the fact that Apple has done a great job of holding that off, it is on that same path. It's absolutely on that same path, because Steve Jobs talked about this before he died, and even when he was younger. The way when the leader of a company leaves, or you start getting run by the MBAs, excuse me, or the marketing people, and not the engineers, not the visionaries. Gosh, my throat is going. I'm sorry. Boy, I can't even speak. Gosh, I really want to talk about this, but it's just not happening. And in my mind, Forstall was the last of those sort of great visionary leaders left, and Tim Cook has done an amazing job. Financially, I'm a shareholder. I'm happy with everything Tim has done, and I'm terrified that Tim will leave someday, because I don't think there's anything there to take his place. And but necessarily, I'm not convinced. I have a few people in mind who I think could do a decent job that are there, but otherwise, what do I know? What do I know? But regardless, IL2 had the Barks, and that's where it was. That's where it was. The thing is that Apple there are still some great things that it's doing, but there's just a lot of blah. And like a lot of these companies, not as badly as some of these companies, but like a lot of these companies, they have overhired. There are too many people. There are too many managers. There are too many people who are there for reasons other than the fact that they're great engineers. There are too many people just sort of taking space and taking money. And the money is not a problem, because Apple has infinite money. So it's like overhiring and overpaying lots of people is not actually a problem for Apple in the long term, as far as I'm concerned. The problem is that what that does to the culture, and it becomes a less rewarding place to work. It becomes a place where innovation and caring deeply about your work. This is something that is has been with Apple for a long time, just caring deeply about the company and caring deeply about the products. Like that's something you can't necessarily hire for that so easily, and you certainly can't pay it. Like people either have it or they don't. And I think the more of the people that you bring in that don't have that, not only the harder it is for people who have that to be able to use it, but I think it ruins a lot of those people. It's like, okay, well, I love what I'm doing. I'm like the guy who's responsible for X, the guy who's responsible for this one feature. And Apple is still, I think, in a lot of ways like this, where the things that you think might have huge teams behind them, it's like one person or it's two person, at least in my experience. And I left last year, so this is we're getting further and further from what I see. But I still hear things, but essentially, it's always been sort of what some people would call. There are a lot of people on the internet that talk about tech and write about tech, and they have bad takes as far as I'm concerned about tech. But this is almost sometimes used as a derogatory term, but like hero-driven development or rock stars, like it's a stupid word, but like as far as I'm concerned, Apple for most of the time, for all the time I've been there, and for any project that I have seen be successful, is very much hero-driven development, where there's one or two heroes that are busting their butts, like literally 20 hours. Like these are people, and I kind of am still like this, but like who are so into what they're doing and so passionate about it, they will work 20 hours. They will do whatever it takes because it is their work is their most important thing in their life to them. And so there are people like this, and they're still there. So the feature that you see that's great, it might actually be literally one guy that did it, and there might be a huge team of hangers on. And a bunch of project managers and a bunch of managers doing nothing but like holding them back. But it's still like that. And so how many of those guys do you need to say like that guy, he's busting his butt, doing his thing, and income people who don't know what they're doing, making the same amount of money basically, essentially, and trying to get their, that's the thing about making meetings. Everyone has to try to get their say. Everyone has to try to show that they know what they're doing or that they have value. And all they're doing is getting in the way. And the only people who can tell that they're getting in the way and doing nothing, the only people who can detect the BS are the people who actually know what they're doing. And if the people who actually know what they're doing are kind of ground down in the BS, eventually they're going to be like, all right, I don't need this anymore. I've worked at Apple for a long time. My stock did well. I don't need this anymore. A lot of the people I think will be like that, or they'll just be like, I'm old, and I'm not putting myself in any of these situations because I'm still a young man. I'm still. What am I? 21, 22. Anyway, I don't know how we got on that. But let's check the results of the poll. 3 votes for Barks, 3 votes for Sprecher. I don't know what Sprecher is. This like a German root beer? I've got to try this. No votes for Bundaberg. What if we're having a ginger beer? Vote? Exosensei, you say you get the small group who are the workhorse for passion, and then all the other people either play cleanup or other things. Or they get in the way. As far as I'm concerned, they get in the way. Because, especially at Apple now, but these people would come in, they don't know anything, they're not actually adding value, they're not good at anything that they're supposed to be doing, but they talk, and because they have to. You have to make yourself known, you have to start getting influence. And so and this happens everywhere. I worked at a Fortune 500 company, a big company in the past. One of the companies I worked at was Sears Roebuck, massive. It used to be the Amazon. Before Amazon, Sears was the Amazon. Really did amazing things to help grow the American dream and grow the country. Sears has so much respect historically, and to me, it's a shame what happened to it. But at Sears, the same thing happened. Once money is there and good things are happening, it doesn't take much for that culture to deteriorate with bad hires. And this is something Steve Jobs said. A players hire A players. B players hire C players, and that's how it works. And they fill their little fiefdoms and grow their organizations as large as they can, because a manager is more important if they have 10 directs versus 5 directs. And then a director is more, you get to be a director if you have 50 directs, or, I don't remember what the numbers were at Sears, but, it's that same thing that just kind of ruins a lot of these companies, or just makes them slow and ineffective. But I think Apple has done a great job of fending that off, or at least somehow still allowing the great people to do great work without as much problem as they have in other companies. But it gets everyone. Hey, Go Henro, great to see you. You think they should be filled with internship style stuff? Yeah. The intern situation, it goes to yeah. It's really tough. It's really tough. I can't believe this, that we got. Where can I buy? So you say this is from, someone said it's from Wisconsin. Okay, Saiken, you said Sprecher is from Wisconsin. So let's get this spreadsheet in here. Oops, this is not it. That's the Ko-fi page. Transport. Menards. Oh my gosh. No, we do not have Menards in California. Boy, that's a blast from the past from when I lived in Chicago. The transport say, you assume it's even worse at Amazon these days, thanks to rampant cheating in the interview process, plus overemphasis on communication skills. Yeah. It's bad everywhere. I think it's bad everywhere. It's probably worse at Amazon. Yeah. I'm not going to go any deeper into some of the other problems I see with the tech field, but because then we get into a different area. Then we get into a different area of that it's not shogi streaming. These are things. If you talk to me in person, we can discuss these things. But I won't put on a shogi stream. Bourbon County. Okay, so let's see. Oh, this is where you can get them. This is funny that you have this spreadsheet. So I used to have, back in the days when Palm OS was a thing. So I really started getting into handhelds with Palm OS and the Newton to a certain extent. But Palm OS is my first software company. I was writing software. I made software for Palm devices. And there was a piece of software on Palm OS called HandyBase. HANDBASE. So it's like DB in HandyBase. But anyway, the only database that I created on that thing, probably that I ended up using very much, was a Thai restaurant database. So this is when my wife and I were dating, and then after we got married, every Thai meal, like Thai food, I ate. I logged in this database. I gave it a rating, and that database is lost to time. But just the nerdy things I used to do. This gives me this brings that back to me. My earlier days of tracking all my Thai food. Rocket Fizz. So Dad's let's see. This is tasted. Yes. Taste rating. Okay. Bottle rating. Oh, that's interesting. So Hank's Gourmet Root Beer right now is perfect in terms of taste and bottle. So this is all bottled root beer. This is not even canned. You're living far away from root beer culture. Can someone explain? It's just a drink. It's just a drink. Some people, I think root beer is more funny also because some people love to hate it. Some people love to feel that they're above root beer. And I think a lot of people use it as a way to maybe not even indirectly make fun of Americans. Except I think Canadians like root beer too. I think a lot of Canadians like root beer. All right, so I want to see what you said about wait, where's the Berghoff? Oh, okay, again in a can. Oh, the taste you put at a 3. That's interesting. It wouldn't surprise me, because Berghoff, I assume they got bought by some private equity or something. I don't know if Berghoff is even a great restaurant anymore. Like a lot of those Chicago staples have huge corporate, just megaliths behind them these days. Like even the great pizza places like Lou Malnati's.
Brian 5900.
Brian W 5902. Greetings, welcome. Hey, Jesus Alberto Gerardo Mendoza. Yeah, this is a great shogi stream. We're talking about root beer. We're talking about Apple. We're talking about private equity firms. Boy. Yeah. So where are we? So let me the live results. Okay, so 3-3. Barks and Sprecher is a winner. I'm going to say that Barks wins because it's my stream. And here's where we started with the Hibiki on. I'm going to have to check them out. So the thing is, I like I was saying earlier in this, like maybe I was saying earlier today, but last week I was talking about this, that I really, shockingly, I am not like a beverage snob. I care about the craft of coffee, and I love great coffee. But I will slum it with the people, I will become one with the people. I will drink bad office coffee. I will drink Starbucks. Like if that's there, I will drink it and I will find a way to enjoy it. That is the way I approach coffee. So tea, I tried to basically, when I started trying to like tea, I got into it in much the same way I got into coffee. I went from some respected coffee or tea leaf sellers, all loose leaf, drinking that stuff, and read about what is. It's been a while. What is bagged tea called, sort of derogatorily? Twigs and shavings? Isn't that it's called twigs and shavings? Isn't that the term d'art of bagged tea? Because it's just ground up. There's no leaf in a lot of these bags. It's just ground up. But Ito En, on the other hand, is also ground up, and it's like a tea bag, and some of them have they also have those triangle bags, like their matcha one. But essentially, it's bagged tea, and it's not loose leaf tea. It's crunched up, and yet to me, it's delicious. Like a 30-second brew of like the Ito En Sencha, honestly, is some of the best tea I've ever had. And maybe I just don't have a sophisticated tea palate, but I have that. There's a famous, I think it's called Red Door. There's a famous Chinese tea that is famously expensive. And it's like what I believe Mao gave to President Nixon like a tiny little bag, but it was like a quarter of the year's production. It's like, this extremely expensive. But anyway, tea shops will sell you tea, still expensive, but I believe it's from bushes from that mother tree. So you've got that mother tree, which I think still exists, or and then the bushes that come from that. What is it? Let me see. Is it Wu Pao? No. Red Door expensive tea. Cheapao. Oh, Wu Pao. No, not Cheapao. Not Cheapao. Cheapao's a dress. Red Door. I said expensive. I didn't say tea. Gosh, it's dangerous. Beverage, Nixon. What is it? Da Hong Pao. Thank you. So I bought some of this a few weeks ago. A few weeks ago, I bought some of this. It was like $50 for 2 ounces. I thought, let me just try this. Let me see, because I do like oolong teas. Again, there's almost no tea that I enjoy as much as coffee. But I bought some of this from what I believe to be a reputable, high quality tea company online. And obviously, it's nowhere near as expensive as the places you get. I think they say like that crop is millions of dollars. Like the annual crop is millions of dollars for this tiny amount. What is it? What is it? 800? What's the annual? The mother Da Hong Pao trees, the best. They have thousands of years of history. There are only 6 mother trees remaining on the stiff cliff, the Wuyi Mountains. So it's scarcity. I think they get about 800 grams a year. What is it? Where is it? It's known as the king of tea. 20 grams of this tea from one of the mother plants sold for 208 yen. That's yen in 2005. Why were you talking about yen? Or is that not yen? Is that anyway? Anyway, yuan. Yeah. Is that yuan? I can't. My eyes are so bad. That might be yuan, but I don't know how much yuan is, especially in 2005. Let's see. Is there Nixon? This article doesn't even mention Nixon, which is weird. So anyway, I got some of this, and I brewed it to their instructions, and it's delicious. It's great. Again, I would prefer a coffee. But it was great. It's this orange, like this deep oolong with a great aftertaste. It's great stuff. I would never spend that much again, for that tea. But it's great stuff. But like I said, I don't think I enjoyed it all that much more than the green tea, the Ito-en green tea. So maybe I'm just a Neanderthal when it comes to tea. So there's that. But there have been some loose leaf sencha green teas that I've had in the past. This is going back like 20 years. So when I was doing coffee stuff, I was also trying to get into tea. I can't even remember what the place is called. There's a place in New York. They're probably overpriced now. It was one of the early, one of the early nice upscale tea places online. I can't remember it. But anyway, the sencha I had gotten from there was fantastic. So I like that. Like I like the grassy sencha type tastes. But so long story short, I'll have to check this place out. I'll have to check this place out. But I am very leery. All this is a very long way of saying I'm very leery of spending a lot of money or even a medium amount of money on my tea, because to my Neanderthal tea tastes, my Neanderthal tea taste buds, there is very little difference to no difference between expensive tea and relatively cheap tea, in my experience. So, I try it every so often. It's like, oh yeah, this is good, but would I spend $5 in shipping, $20 for a few ounces? I don't know. But that's I would love to. I would love to do like tea drinking with someone who really knows their tea, and would maybe be able to point out all the different things that I should be thinking about when I'm drinking it. And I think that would improve my enjoyment of it. You're often able to go Henro to try from a friend's extensive tea collection, but personally, you drink almost any tea. Yeah. Interesting. Here's a sencha. I like sencha a lot. Gyokuro I like a lot, but I think of my favorites, I just think Japanese sencha I like a lot. Okay, so these are not that expensive. Well, actually, I shouldn't say these are not. I'm seeing the price, but I'm not seeing the weight. 100 grams for 22 ounces is not too expensive, but that's expensive. And what do they recommend using? How much do they recommend using per cup? 1.5 tablespoons. Okay, 7 to 8 grams. 7 to 8 grams. Okay, that's 7 to 8 grams. Okay, all Hibiki-on teas can be brewed 3 times the full flavor. That's the thing about the Dahong Pao that I got. Supposedly, you can get 4 to 5 brews with it, but I probably wouldn't drink that much in one sitting, so I don't know. But anyway, this is good. So 200 ml. That's a small amount. That's a small amount of water. It's funny that this is basically almost exactly what I would have done. Not knowing anything about this sencha, this is almost to the letter what I would have done myself. So I wonder if I just sort of I have vestiges of best practices for tea in my head, and maybe they just all use that. 100 grams is like a small fillet. So you would rather pay 22 ounces for a 4-ounce fillet than a tea. Yeah. But that's not bad. So that will get 200 grams. That'll get 25. That'll get 25 drinks. So that's less than $1. If you don't count shipping, which might be something here, that's less than $1 a drink. And when you consider you can rebrew, you can rebrew. It's not that bad. You find that your coffee experience carries over well to tea. Yeah. That sounds reasonable. You're allergic to caffeine. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Oh, we're still here. We're still here. So before I make my move here, I'm going to go to the restroom. I'm going to get more tea and water. I'm completely out, and then I'll be right back. You want to go out, Charlie? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get tea. Sorry for the delay. Comedy of errors. The water wasn't quite hot enough, so I had to wait for that to heat up, and then spill a little bit on the way here. So, before we get into well, I'll make my move. So we know what the best move is. We know the best move is this, which I don't quite get. We didn't look close enough. We didn't look close enough in the analysis. We know that this is the best. But anyway, so two things I wanted to talk about. One, I mentioned that I started playing Metroid Zero Mission on one of my the little retro handheld devices, the Mio Mini Plus. I finished that. Finished. You know, I beat the game on the easy level. It was great, really fun. It held up incredibly. that's a Game Boy Advance game, and the Game Boy Advance was kind of, the peak for a lot of this pixel art stuff, I'd say. And great game. So I did that. But now, for the Tetris fans out here, I don't think this would be controversial, but somehow I had not known about this. There's a game, created a fan game, which even had takedowns, I guess, from the Tetris company, but Apotris, Apotris. It runs on Mac, Windows, Linux, NES, I think. But there's a game, I think it started as a Game Boy Advance game. So you can download, he provides the ROM, you download the game, he provides the source, he provides the ROM, and it is mind-blowing, the amount of functionality and how good it feels. It's like, I love Tetris Effect. I love the original Game Boy Tetris and Rosy Retrospection, which is sort of the ROM hack that adds all the niceties to it. And I am very excited to play Chromatic Tetris, which is the newly created Tetris game for Game Boy Color that's sold with the Mod Retro Chromatic device, which is an FPGA dedicated Game Boy Color system with an actual the actual, what is it, 160 by 140? I can't remember the resolution of the Game Boy on the top of my head. An actual LCD with that. And so I'm excited about that. Like, I love Tetris. As I've talked about, I love Tetris. I'm not great at Tetris. I'm not good at Tetris, but I love it. I love the game. I'm one of those people where if I play it, I can just keep playing that. So I'm very excited for my Mod Retro Chromatic to arrive, so I can play that game. But having just found Apotris, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing I've ever played. So I've been playing Apotris on the Miu Mini and the Miu Mini Plus. They're tiny. I should have brought them here. They're tiny little cheap retro handhelds that are running this community operating system called Onion OS, and it's got more niceties and more features than modern video game systems. It's incredible, the functionality of this Onion OS. And not to turn this into not to turn this from a root beer stream to an Apple stream to a tea stream, and now to a Tetris or a retro gaming stream. But the game is it's mind blowing how good this game is. And I'm probably going to go. I'll donate some money to him and ask if you're going to make a Game Boy Color version, because I'd love to see it. So it's for a nerd like me. So the game feels great. There's a billion modes. I don't need that many modes because I mostly play the same Tetris modes regardless. But I love these modes and I will play all of them. It's got great music. It's including some Toho in there. And it's easy to skip tracks that are playing that you don't like. But anyway, more than that, it has a laundry list of stats that it maintains. And I'm a stats nerd, so when they're like tracking how much time I play, how many T-spins I've made, how many all clears, how many this, how many that, it's like a dream. It's like a dream Tetris game. I can't believe how good it is. Tetrio is really nice. Like the online, the multiplayer ones, but as just a game that I would play on a handheld or just to relax, this Apotris is phenomenal. I can't say enough about it. I can't. So if you like Tetris at all and you have you'll probably have a way to play it. So what is Apotris? It's got it's got, how much of this is showing up? So Game Boy Advance, this is what I'm playing on. Windows, Linux, Mac OS, Nintendo Switch. I don't know how you get. I assume you have to jailbreak or whatever the Switch and the 3DS, which I wouldn't do myself. So I wouldn't do those here. But it'll play. There's versions for all those ports. There's no Game Boy Color, but it's so good. A lot of configurability for different ways to see it. Oh, you can play it online. So I'm not good with the keyboards. So when we go in here, settings. Oh wait, why is this not working? So the arrows are not working. Oh, WASD, but I use Dvorak. I use Dvorak. So this. So what is down? What is down? S. So let me go. S is semicolon here for me. Look at all these. I can't. I wish I could use the. Actually, let's see if there's a way to control. Okay, move left, move right. But this doesn't help the menu. In-game. Hold on. Okay, so here we go. Menus. S is down. Okay. Up. Down. It's calling this Q? Interesting. Weird. Okay, let's save changes. Okay, so let's see. Does it work? It doesn't. It doesn't handle the arrows on this Mac. All right, so I can't really play. I can't. Well, let's see if I can. All right, now I can't do anything. Now I can't move anything. so sorry about that. I'd love to play on stream. So when I do get the when I do have that Game Boy Color device does arrive, I think I can plug that in and stream it without sound. So the sound will have to be, I'll have to play it close to my mic because I think only video comes from the, it shows up as a webcam. One of its features is that you plug it in USB-C and it'll show up as a webcam in OBS. But the sound, I think, doesn't go there. I'll have to show. Yeah, mind-blowing key map, exactly. I'm talking this game up so much. I'm talking about the Game Boy Advance. So how is it better than regular Tetris? That's the mode, the amount of stats it keeps, it feels great. It feels great. It's got that music. It's got all sorts of configurability for sounds and whatnot. I wish I could show it. I really wish I could show it but I can't. This is the problem of being, a Dvorak user. It's one of those games where it just feels right. It just feels perfect. So much like Tetris Effect in some way, much like the original Game Boy Tetris, and especially the Game Boy Tetris Rosie Retrospection ROM hack, they just feel perfect. And anyway, the modes, the configurability, the feel, it's great. I love it. After I found this less than 24 hours ago, I want to say it's probably my favorite Tetris already. you know, it's not enough time to really go to decide, but it's probably the best version of Tetris that I have ever seen. But I am also a sucker for stats. Like, you can see so many stats. Like the obviously, like I said, the time played, doubles, triples, quad, the T-spins. There's so many different stats. Like, you wouldn't even believe the PP, like all the pro types things. Like your what is it, PPS? Like the pieces per second, or you know, all this kind of stuff. Really cool. I can't even believe it. And you know, he made it. He's had to deal with law stuff because it used to be on itch.io, but like it got a takedown from the Tetris company. And so, you know, he's basically he's just out there with the open source and supporting Game Boy Advance. It's so cool. Yeah, Tetrio is great, but you can't play Tetrio on a Game Boy Advance. You can't play it anywhere but your computer, right? And I don't want to play multiplayer most of the time. I just want to play the game. So let's go to Tetrio. Or Tetrio. I don't know how this is pronounced. I do have an account here. But I'm not going to log in. So I just want to play. We got these ads. Let's start. So what it's so left and right is, and how do I switch? Okay. I don't know how to do the other thing. Oops, what just happened? Oh, shift is hold. I don't know how to rotate left. I don't know how to hard drop. I'm pressing up. I don't know how to hard drop. Up does not appear to hard drop. Oh, maybe space does? Okay. It's like Shogi streaming where I can't even think. Like so trying to do this processing. Oops. I tried to rotate. Anyway, like, this is awesome. I basically want to play... Yeah, I love handheld Tetris. I love playing handheld. I do like playing on the big screen, like with Tetris Effect. This is beautiful. Tetrio is or Tetrio, or however this is pronounced. This is beautiful. But, like, I can't play this anywhere. I can't play this anywhere but on a computer. And I don't like to play games on the computer. I just don't. Except for Shogi when I'm streaming. How do I get back? Like the amount of polish on this game, I cannot believe that the Tetris company hasn't taken this down. I don't understand how they don't. So how is this company still? How are they still alive? Tetrio is amazing. Yeah, obviously, you know, I want it on a gaming system. I want to play with a handheld, you know, with a controller. It's so good. It's so good. So they sell merch. Okay, it's what they sell is their soundtrack. They don't sell any plushies or anything. So what is Tetra Channel? Wait, Shogi Wars has more games played than Tetrio? Shogi Wars is more popular than this. You can plug in a USB controller. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, on a Mac. Yeah, I want to be able to take it with me. I just like sitting back. Like I'm never going to be fast enough to beat like any of these good players. You know, I watch these incredible streamers playing Tetris. Whether it's on Tetrio or Tetris 99 or Tetris Effect. But yeah, this game is Tetrio is amazing. I like Apotris. I wonder if I could... I do like their default look here of Tetrio. Like, I like this look a lot. I wonder if I could set that... I wonder if I could make Apotris look like this. Because by default, it's the... You know, obviously, it doesn't have the resolution on a Game Boy Advance. But by default... Look at all these options. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, but it doesn't let you change the graphics. Anyway. All right. We got that good music going. Amazing, amazing. It's amazing stuff. I just want to know how in the world they're still in business. I'll ask Google. How is Tetrio still in business? Focuses on a different business model than licensed Tetris version. While the Tetris company licenses the Tetris brand, Tetrio operates independently, offering a free, ad-free experience. TTC doesn't have direct legal grounds to shut down Tetrio due to its game mechanics not being patentable, and the game is not hosted on a platform TTC can easily control. Oh, I wonder if that's why they came off of... Apotris was taken off of Twitch. Maybe TTC was able to bully itch, not Twitch, itch.io. One possibility is that TTC might consider acquiring Tetrio, but the creators have expressed concerns about TTC potentially ruining the game. Well, I mean, with enough money, I'm sure they'll be all right. But yeah, they will ruin it. I mean, we already had this discussion about big companies and, you know, acquisitions and so let's see. How did TTC attack Apotris? Yes, they issued DMCA takedowns against Apotris, which resulted in the removal of the Apotris source code from GitHub. Oh, wow. In the main game page from itch.io. Oh, wow. He created... Okay. Wow. Wow. It's a shame. It's a shame. I mean, understandable on both sides, I guess, in the end. All right, so we're back to Shogi. We're back to Shogi. So we know that my move, my move of pawn drop was not great. I mean, it was fine, but it wasn't the best. So I think these are the options. We also discussed this. I don't see what we do here. I don't see what we do here. Rook takes. Then I drop a rook. All right, let's do it. Let's try to work it out. Let's try to work it out. So I do this and I take the gold. Do I drop the pawn? Then he comes back. Do I take this pawn? No, let's take the gold. Let's take this. If he comes over here. Ah. Ah. Ha. So do I have a way to do something here? I have nothing really. I could take the knight, which I don't think is as good. I take the knight, he takes the gold. Do I just defend? Do I drop the gold here? Drop the gold. He takes this gold. I come in. So I think he could take, and then I take, and then he redrops it. Ah. Should I drop the silver back here? And he drops a bishop. Do I just take? I think I just take. Wow. pawn. Do I drop a pawn? If I drop a pawn here, he runs. He runs here. And then I drop the gold. Or silver, I drop the silver. Hey, Kochiro. I take. So if I take here, if I take, he takes, I drop the gold. He runs. I drop the silver. He runs. I take the pawn. He runs. Or so take, he takes. I drop the silver. He has to come up. I drop the gold. Three silvers has to be enough. Has to be enough. Take, silver drop, runs. Wait, no, he can't run. No. Gold drop. It has to be the gold because he runs forward. So take, gold, runs. Well, no, he can run this way too. He's still running. Drop a silver here. Does he have mate? I don't think so. So if I take, what is he going to do? He's going to drop the rook, drop the pawn. I take. He drops a pawn. I take. He drops a pawn. I take. He drops a gold. I take. Comes up there. All right. I don't think he has it. Okay. Silver. No. Take gold. Or do I come up first? Take promote. If he blocks, it's silver, and then gold is gonna do it. Yep. All right. All right. All right, so Ureshino-ryu has now been proven. We have found the countermeasure. We have found the Ureshino-ryu countermeasure. That's 2 wins. That's two wins. Let's see. So what we saw earlier. Okay. We know the engine liked my move. We know the engine loved my move. Take, king takes. Oh, this is where you like 4-4. Yes, Cyan Cannon. Pre-moving is disrespectful. Exactly. Oh, so here is 4-4. Wait, what? What? My move is much worse, by the way. It's still plus 12. But this is plus 22. What? What's going on here? Wait, what? So if he takes, it's going to be mate. Wait, how is that going to be mate? So he takes, I take, he drops, let's just say he drops a pawn. He drops, I can't drop a pawn. Knight. Okay. Oh boy, I'm not going to see this knight until it's one move away from unless I'm not going to find this mate unless I know it's mate in 1. Like I'm not going to be able to read that. Oh, you like pawn drop 4/4 instead of rook takes gold, takes 6/1. Okay, so let's. Yeah. So I couldn't read that. Where's my? Okay, so yeah, so here's this. They drop the silver. Yeah, and it is now mate. It's now mate in 17. What scared me was him coming back. This is what I was worried about. I suppose I could just take here, but this is mate. This is what I missed as well earlier. That having the silver here, this comes up, and then I'll be able to promote here. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is yeah. So during the game, that's what I misread as with my whole gold silver calculation. Ah. So have we debunked Ishikawa Sensei and Melkor's propaganda? Have we debunked the anti-Ureshino-ryu propaganda? I want to say we have. Yeah. Okay. All right, this is great. This makes me feel good. This makes me this I am not going to lie. This makes me feel good. I think they're not going to play this. I think they're not going to play this. I think they're not going to play that either. So here's what I think they'll probably play. Well, something. I think they'll do some other, potentially move the king over. But let's say they do this. A Gotham fan? Wait, what? No. Wait, what did I say something that Gotham says? Oh, the rook. Oh, yes. So here's where I would probably play this, or maybe even still do this. But it doesn't work as well now because this is the king's no longer walled in. Low depth engine likes this. So I want to say that I've been in this position over the board. I think what I will often do is either this or this. Yeah. So I put these into so before the stream at extremely high depth. I put the position in, and these are both the moves from here that the engine said are basically equal are this is it this or maybe I'm confusing it. No, I think this is no. This is not the position. This is not good because, like if we can't really, I mean we can, but you know, we take here, he drops, you know, I come back. They do this. The bishop exchange forces opponent to play around bishop 7-6. That's true. That's true. But with the Gangi though, is that really true? Because the bishop, it feels like the bishop you know, that bishop drop isn't so scary to me because this gold can take. And they also get, if opponent plays king 4-1 instantly, bishop drop increases, or it happened. So let's say we do this. I go back. Oh, definitely. I mean, yeah. I mean, here it's the clear. But I don't think anyone's going to do this against me. Because I think the people that play this opening are people that want a slow game. And I think they'll be somewhat booked up. I'm guessing. So these, I think, these seem to be good. Yeah. But regardless, you know, what this ends up giving me, you know, in the end, what this ends up giving me is I'm in the slow game now. Right. And then, yeah, let's see, he pushes. This is totally what Z-Kid would do. It wouldn't surprise me if I've actually been in this position versus Z-Kid. This feels very similar, like very familiar. And then this is where I hang. This is at some point here is where I hang. Yeah, it's playable. It's definitely playable. It's definitely playable. It's just I don't know what to do. Really, it becomes like I eventually just sort of get stifled, and then I hang a silver. Like I mean, you know, the engine doesn't care. You know, it's totally fine. But like these are the positions that this is kind of why I wanted to play today, because thinking, you know, I get in these positions. How do I work my way through these positions? That's why I wanted to play this. And the engine just gave me attacks. The level 2 and level 3 engines gave me attacks. So like if I just push up here, Either that or this. Yeah, it's so tough. It's so tough. It wants drops. It wants drops. Yeah. But you'd play pawn 5-5 instead of pawn 4-6? That makes sense. That makes sense. So what if he does this? How is this good? This is where I get my silver trapped. I guess with the pawn pushed, I won't get the silver trapped. Huh. Wow. Yeah. It's like it's a game of shuffling pieces around at this point then for me. Like these are really tough. I just need to get better. I just need to get I think this is where I need to get better. I am usually the person who cracks here. Almost always I'm the person who cracks. Like the number one move from the engine, which also seems tricky, is this. Interesting. What does this not do anything? Oh, of course, of course, of course, of course. This is definitely tricky. This I like this because that move would be very tricky. uh, this is hard stuff, but hey Dim, nice to see you. Your words of encouragement, Cyan Cannon, from your chess teacher are get good. Yeah. Well, this is where I need to get good, and I need to get tricky. As the Ureshino-ryu player, I feel like I have to be the trickier one here. Especially since the opponent, I think the opponent's mindset here is to not be tricky, is to let me self-destruct. This is really interesting here. So if he takes, I take. He takes. That's not any good. Or wow. Wow. Huh. Yeah, this is tricky. I like this. I like this line because got a bunch of only moves for the opponent, and they're not easy. Like this here is pretty much it. All right. I like that. Wow. Very cool. Dim, you can't wait to see it. I hope you like it. I think it's really nice. The person who was interviewed did a great job. We had some interesting discussions. Please check it out. I really hope people see this one. I think it's good. And yeah. Yeah, I would like to see, obviously, I'd like to see the podcast do well, but yeah, all right. All right. Well, I think that's it. The cat just walked in again. Is there a main topic? No, not particularly. Not particularly. We touched on things like tournaments. We touched on fourth file rook. We touched on opening study. We touched on improvement, mindset, lots of different topics, growth, all that kind of, all those, the usual podcast talking points, the usual gaming podcast talking points. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it, but, is there a way to turn down the music volume? Oh, I don't think so. Is there? I don't think so. Has it changed? Oh. Yeah, I don't see a way. That's unfortunate. Or maybe is it bothering you more these days? Is it just bothering? Let's see. Will it play against
あなたが先手です。
how
強くなったね。
Okay, so how do can we not play a different time? Does anyone want to try a friend game, a 10-second friend game to test that out? Let's see. It doesn't sound any louder to me. Oops. There's no music here. No music. Yeah, the problem, Transport, I think, is that we were talking about this the other day. Like, if you increase the size of the kanji for the pawn, it'll look weird compared to the others. But, like, you can't do it for the horse because there's not enough room. It's a tough problem. Like, the pieces are so big. 29283. But yeah, they are small. There must be a way to there must be some way that to increase it and still maintain the dots. But those dots are awfully close on the horse and the dragon. But yeah, maybe the people who would use this piece set use the dots anyway. So maybe that's... Alright, so no one wants to play. Well, let me... I need to take a quick bio break. We could play some... I'll play a person on the internet. I'll be right back. All right. All right, let's try a 10-second game then. I'll do it. I'll try again. So 29283. 29283. I'll wait a second here. Let me close this out. All right. No one wants to play. That's fine. Let me get OBS out of the way. Carlos Jr. From earlier. I'm sorry I missed that. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Gyotaku. Ureshino-ryu. Ich. Okay, we'll listen to the sound.
1、2、3、4、5、6。1、2、3、4、5、6、7。1、2、3、4、5。1、2。
Turn up the music or down the voice? I don't think you can. That's what we're talking.
1、2、3。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9。1、1、1、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9。叩きの歩。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8。
I don't know about that.
1、2、3、4、5。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9。
So the dragon is fitting a lot of that square.
2、
Ah, interesting.
4、5、6、7。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8。1、
Oh boy.
3、4、5。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9。 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9。
I don't like that. I definitely don't like that.
1、2。強くなったね。
Arigatou gozaimashita. Okay. The sound seems very similar to me. So is my sound very quiet relative to my voice? Or is my sound quiet relative to the speaker's voice? I imagine I tuned it down so that you can hear me. But like I could always bump that. Oh, and I wasn't using the full piece set. I mean, I wasn't using the full layout. Interesting. Oops. What's going on here with this interview? Interesting. I wonder why. Ah, I see why. I was just wondering the different sounds, the different sound levels that I have. It's not. You can't set it necessarily per. Yeah. So when I switch scenes, because different scenes do have some different volume. Like this is the interview scene, so this is my oh, interesting that my interview scene has a chat. Let me get that out of there. Actually, no, because I use this sometimes for other things. So this is here's the quietest. This is my various playing scenes. These are at minus 10.7 dB. I just lowered it. They were at minus 11.3. My browser scene is minus 1.7 dB, so it's louder. And the full camera, where all I have is camera, it's at 0. So this should be the loudest. Anyway, it would be nice if you could balance the in-game sound and the audio. I think I'd like to, because I can only control it at that sort of gross screen level for all my audio. But anyway, that was a good game. That was a good game. I mean, it's the wow, look how low I am. On my 10-second. My 30s? I'm in 30s? Oh, and that was a showdown. All right. I feel good about that. I didn't even realize it. Maybe a demoting showdown, but yeah, the pieces are oops, I didn't want this. Sorry. Oh, the Kishin quiz doesn't use your piece settings.
あなたが先手です。
Like, realistically, I don't think there's anything they can do to increase the kanji size. Because it's already packed so tight here. Maybe, I don't know. we were speculating on Monday that instead of shrinking this, instead of increasing the size of the kanji, they should shrink the size of the pawns. Because one thing we definitely saw, although that was, let's see if I can. Does this show up? They're so nicely aligned here. Okay, so we're not seeing that same thing that we saw the other day, but because that was in the training board. On the training board, we were seeing there's a bigger gap as you get higher, but that training board is all jank anyway. What am I doing here? We're walking our king. So Transport speculated that you cannot lose, that the easy will not like let you win. Will not win. Yeah, it does not want to take my pieces. It does not want to take those pieces. Is this the most passive bot possible? I want another pawn. What? Okay, so we've got some pawn. We got some tokens. We've got some tokens. Let's get some more. I've got this fortress. Magnus Carlsen famously does not believe in fortresses, but I have a fortress. I don't want to take his stuff. Ah, I see what you did there, engine. I'm not taking you. Oh, shoot. I don't want to... I don't want... Oh, look at this. He's making me take. There we go. Ah. All right, we got more pawns. All right. How do I get more pawns? All right, so we've got enough tokens. This guy, this is the most peaceful why don't I...
4頭跳ねです
Oh, I didn't want, oh. I wanted to keep going. Why don't I play guys like this in 10-minute games? You can't analyze? Anyway. All right. I think that's a great place to end the stream. You're just top quality, just the highest level of shogi. If I'm not mistaken, I'm going to go rewind over on my management screen. I think I had the maximum number of tokens. I think every pawn was a token. Yes. And then I wanted to take all the pieces. Okay. Yes, I had 18 tokens. It's a shame. It's a shame I accidentally made it, though. That's a darn shame. It's a darn shame. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. I will see you soon. If you haven't checked out the podcast, please do. And I will see you tomorrow. Almost certainly. Never know. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the day here. Like I said, it's my son's last day in town. Going to wash the car, go out to eat tonight, do some other stuff. Maybe check out some video games or something. I don't know. But take care. Thanks for the follows today, and thanks for all the fun chat. The chat was it was so fun today. The discussion that we've had was like, I mean, I'm rambling all over the place about tea and Apple and all this other stuff. So thank you for bearing with me, but I had fun. So thanks. See you soon. Take care. Enjoy your shogi, and